Hello guys, once again welcome you all on this online lecture platform, and due to some technical reasons the previous lecture was not continued. So remaining points in this strategies for culture of unculturable bacteria will discuss in this particular lecture. So in previous lecture we have seen some of the techniques that are used in unculturable microbial community analysis to culture these unculturable bacteria. In that we have seen some of the approaches that are used by different group of scientists, and we have also studied the case study, some of the instrument like optical tweezers. Okay, so in this today's video lecture we'll discuss high throughput cultivation. So this is the most advanced method that is used in culturing of unculturable bacteria, and the development of a high throughput cultivation method enabled identification of large number of extinction cultures. Okay. So over a period of 3 years or several years, several new microbial strains were isolated, including members of previously so-called unculturable groups that are abundant in seawater as well as soil environment, and compared with previous studies that used concept of extinction cultures, the use of microreactor dishes in combination with an automated cell array and imaging processes increased the level of sensitivity at which cells could be detected and shortened the incubation time for cells with low growth rates. So these are some of the developments in recent years, and the percentage of cells that could be cultured by this approach was several orders of magnitude higher that could be achieved by growing on agar plates. So high throughput cultivation methods, they are most advanced methods, and the percentage of cells is much more higher as compared to traditional culturing methods. So a universally applicable method that provides access to immense reservoir of unrevealed microbial diversity has been developed, and this technique uses microcapsules to encapsulate single cells combined with parallel microbial cultivation under low nutrient flux conditions. So this is the pictorial view of high throughput cultivation process. In this particular figure the process is summarized, and you can see that environmental samples, they get collected from different environmental areas. Then after preparing the samples, the purified cell, they get mixed with some capsules, and capsules, they are put in columns where continuous flux of media is maintained, and after some specific incubation time you can see the growth of colonies in that microcapsules. So this is the basic approach of high throughput cultivation process. So basically in this technique microcapsules are used to encapsulate single cells that are sorted with flex like techniques, okay, or single cell sorter apparatus, and these microcapsule encapsulate single cells combined with parallel microbial cultivation under low nutrient flux conditions, after which flow cytometry is used to detect micro droplets that contain microcolonies. So this approach uses multiple techniques. It is not a single techniques used in this approach. It uses multiple techniques like extraction and purification, then sample preparation, then encapsulation, then addition of this capsulated cells into or microcapsules into columns where nutrient flux is maintained, and After that, the flow cytometry technique is used to detect microdroplets that contain microcolonies. So individual cells were concentrated from seawater by tangent flow filtration encapsulated gel microdroplets, that is abbreviated as GMDs, and single encapsulated cells were transferred to chromatography columns. So these columns you can see in this figure, these are actually the chromatographic columns where continuous flow of nutrients is maintained in appropriate concentration, and the single encapsulated cells were transferred to chromatographic columns. Different cultures media that were selective for aerobic non-phototropic organisms were pumped through growth columns containing 10 million GMDs. So the encapsulated microorganisms were able to divide and form colonies of about 20 to 100 cells in these GMDs. On the basis of their distinctive light scattering signatures, these microcolonies were detected and separated by flow cytometry at a rate of 5000 GMD per second. So basically, isolated microbial cells which are encapsulated in microcapsule, they form colonies after getting in contact with nutrient rich medium, and it needs some longer incubation time, and after this incubation time these encapsulated colonies are observed by using flow cytometry. So one advantage of this technology is extremely sensitive detection of microbial growth. So this is a very sensitive technique. Even a small amount of growth can be detected by using this technique, and microcolonies containing few means 20 to 100 cells can be detected. So nutrient sparse media such as seawater were sufficient to support the growth, but carbon content was low enough to prevent microbial weeds from overgrowing. So the nutrient conditions, they are exactly designed as they are present in natural environments, and these are balanced appropriate concentration to overgrow, and several important advantages are realized by replacing glass tube with microscopic polymer cages, that is known as GMDs, and collectively these advantages results in improved cultivation and greater access to microbial diversity. So the GMDs allowed reconstituted microbial community members to be simulated simultaneously cultivated together and apart, because each cage micro colony can later be separated and analyzed. So this method might be applicable for analysis of interaction between different organisms in situ condition. For example, by replacing encapsulated cell back into environment. In addition, the ability to reconstitute the community in the column of microcapsule allowed for diffuse cross-feeding of metabolites and other molecules. For example, regulatory and signaling molecules can diffuse between members of community. So this feature also simulated the natural environment and thereby preserved some of the community interactions and other specific requirements that might be needed for successful cultivation. Microorganisms are grown in a flowing open system which simulates natural environments where microorganisms are exposed continuously to a very low concentration of nutrients, and after sorting individual microcapsule into microtighter dishes containing organic rich columns, most of the cultures grew to a cell density that was greater than zero point 0.1 as measured by optical density at 600 nanometer. So this method is suitable for parallel cultivation of microorganisms for natural product screening as well as the discovery. So these are the details overall regarding high throughput cultivation process. And again, another different approach that is used is culture medium. It contains sterile water plus minerals, and these are added in microtiter plates, and deposit single cell from seawater into these individual wells by microturtle plates, and these individual cells are obtained cells by flow cytometric sorting or dilution to extinction. So basically single cells, they were isolated by using flow cytometer, and they were placed in this microturtle plate which contains nutrient media, and after some incubation time the growth can be observed, though it is slow but it can be observed by using probes and PCR analysis. So these are some of the high throughput approaches that can be used to cultivate so-called unculturable microbial communities. So these are details regarding strategies that are used to cultivate unculturable bacteria or microbes. So lots of developments is still going in this particular area, and most of the scientists, they are continuously trying to culture these so-called unculturable microbial communities. So thanks. So in next lecture we'll start with new unit, that is evolution. Thanks.